Hi, everybody, and welcome to another VanHack Success Case interview. My name's Ilya, and today I'm really excited to be joined by Guilherme, who's a successful Van Hacker who got hired at our Sao Paulo recruiting fair and is has now moved to Canada. So we're going to learn all about how his experience was at the event and also post relocation. Hey, Guilherme, how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, let's jump in. Do you mind just introducing yourself for everybody, and we'll go from there.
No worries. Yeah, so my name is Guilherme. I'm a software engineer for 18 plus years, and I've moved to Canada in 2019. Um, Thanks, Ilya, for the VanHack fair that happened in 2018 that got me to where I'm at right now.
Yeah, yeah, our pleasure. So yeah, let's just start maybe kind of where did this idea of coming to Canada come from? Like why did you want to relocate?
Yeah, so it started very early when I started the university at the university. I kind of had that idea. I think once there was like a fair to talk about like a job market in Canada at the university, and that kind of, whoa, you know what? I think I want to move to Canada. But then, yeah, time passed, and that kind of dream like fade out, and but eventually, I got to connect to a friend that moved to Canada
Hmm.
and he told me about the Van Hack event that was coming up, and that kind of ticked again in terms of, hey, isn't that the opportunity? And turned out that it was, right? But yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about the event for you. Like, how were the interviews? What did you do to prepare? Like, just yeah, take us back to
Hmm.
that event, the event.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I participated in two editions of it. They were slightly different from each other. But on the first one, there was some sort of direct interview to the company. Back in that time, the company was like Skip the Dishes, and they brought like a bunch of folks from the team, the engineering team, to interview. In that situation, I got interviewed by one of the owners. There was also the CTO of the company. It was a little bit scary because I think I wasn't prepared enough in terms of the format of the interview. Like it is slightly different from what we were used to interviews in Brazil.
Hmm.
Um, and my English wasn't that good. It's still not that good, but it was even worse. Um, and unfortunately, I didn't get a job offer at that moment.
Hmm.
I think I got too nervous and a bunch of things happened that made me a kind of a little bit not a good candidate at the moment. But on
Hmm.
the second, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I learned from that. I learned the format of the fair. And on my second opportunity, I was interviewed by a different company. It is called Boat Commerce.
Hmm.
And there I was more prepared for pair programming. Their format was slightly different as well. So they had the HR. I had a conversation with HR and their engineer, and I had the opportunity to pair program.
Hmm.
Along with it, we had some VanHack session happening that I was kind of writing an API with some front end in React and stuff like that. It looks like North America loves like a React. And many there are many kind of interviews that request that for the full stack.
Mm.
And eventually I got a job offer from that. And yep, that
Nice.
was my experience
So,
at the
so
hack.
you did the interview there, and then were there other rounds afterwards, like once the company left Brazil and did a virtual interview?
No, I think since this company, Bold Commerce, did the whole process in Brazil,
Yeah.
HR and technical interview with the pair programming. Basically, after some days of the fair, they pretty much sent me an email. They got my email. They sent me an email making an offer. So
Nice.
there was a direct,
How was that moment?
straightforward.
Yeah, how was that moment when you got that email?
Uh, it was kind of a mix of like a happiness with like, okay, so now what? And
Right.
how
Right.
do I communicate with the family? Of course, back in that time, my wife was aware of the fair.
Yeah.
But I guess it's different when you get the offer, you know? It's one thing when you just participate versus like you got an offer. Now your whole life is gonna change,
Mm.
right? So it was like moments of like anxiety plus like excitement at the
Yeah.
same time
Yeah.
because the whole process doesn't stop there, right?
Mm.
There is the provincial application and all of that. So definitely there are other steps along the way. But yeah,
Right.
definitely was exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. When how was the relocation process? You mentioned you had like the visa provincial application. Like, how long did it take? What was the process for you to get the visa?
Yeah, so basically back in that time, there were two things that I had to run in parallel. One being the provincial application. Actually, not necessarily in parallel. I had to have my IELTS to get like the English assessment,
Hmm.
the provincial nominee requested at. So like I think I did like a 1 month studying to get ready or and learn more about the IELTS format. And then once I got that, I started and I got like the minimum points for that or the average points. I since I quotes pass, there's no pass in IELTS, but like I got the points, the minimum points for the application. Soon after that, I applied in the provincial, like a Manitoba website for that.
Right.
I think from that point, I think the whole process took me from August through end of September or October to get like the paperwork for then like at that point I could move to Canada at any time. And I also had to send once the paperwork on the provincial side was finished, I
Hmm.
had to send my passport to São Paulo to get the stamp. So that was about it.
Yeah, yeah, just kind of a straightforward process. That's awesome. And then
Yes.
how was like the actual move? Like getting on the flight, flying to Canada, to Manitoba. Um, yeah.
Yeah. My goodness. I guess I will start with if I knew how cold that place is, I would like postpone that a little bit to spring instead of midwinter. But basically, the company offered me to pay for my flight. I paid for my wife. We sold everything in Brazil, packed up and compacted everything in four luggages. And then on the initial days, post kind of visa, we pretty much rented a Airbnb so that way we could like find a place.
Mhm.
This was something that I think was a good move because it was a little bit harder to apply for rental outside of Canada. So it was a good move to like rent a Airbnb for 3 months, 2 months, I don't
Mhm.
remember, and then like start searching the area, like learning more about the neighborhood and stuff like that. Um, and that's how I started settling in Winnipeg.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And like you settled in, you started working. Was it a tough adjustment? I mean, other than the cold, but like, any like I guess first impressions, did you settle in well? Like, how was like the life post move, you know?
Yeah, so one thing that was crucial to not struggle so much. about the whole process of settling was the fact that even before I moved, I I searched for some Facebook and WhatsApp groups, and I started asking questions about like how life is in Canada, what should I do as the first steps once I get to Canada. So everybody kind of contributed somehow in that process, and like people told me about like you need to get a SIN number, you need to get a health card, you need to have a bank account. There is this Brazilian in this bank that you should go. That helped a lot because that guy had so much experience in terms of like people that moved into Canada. He kind of shared stuff, a bunch of stuff, including like even smaller things like cell phone, like you should go to these places and find those mobile plans and stuff like that. So that's how I got I would say like a quotes a very smooth like a transition, like a move. Of course, there was a significant cultural change and shift, but I think I got supported by the fact that I participated on those groups and asked as many questions as I could. And I also watched a bunch of like YouTube videos from people that
Mhm.
talked about like Winnipeg, Calgary, and those places.
Nice, nice. Cool. And then yeah, like that's great. So tell me more, like you got your PR, your citizenship, you've bought a house, like this all these amazing milestones, right? Like
Yeah.
how's that been?
Well, it's been amazing, and of course, one thing that everybody shares is the anxiety that you have between those milestones, right? Because even though being technology, we got hit by COVID, and that slowed
Mm,
down the PR process significantly. Many people before that they had, like it was happening very fast, but when we got to the point that we had everything, we were waiting for like a sum for a while.
mm,
Unfortunately, COVID hit us, so of course now it's a different story. Back in that time, my process was like a paper-based. It looks like it's more digital now. Uh, so in theory, it's faster. So I guess PR was the biggest milestone, I would say, the hardest to get. But after that, like a citizenship is as easy as like staying in Canada for
hmm
1,000 and some days.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a test which is not that complicated. There's a handbook that you can just read and pass. Um, what else? And the house. The house was also something interesting because I wanted to move to Calgary
hmm
for many different reasons, but the problem was that the market was really hot here, and and the problem was also in terms of like the interest rate kind of
Mm.
raising. So I was kind of in the middle of like the chaos of those things, like very hard to find a house. So um, I had to like give what do they call bet? No, it's not bet.
Down payment?
It's not down payment. You know when the house is listed for some amount, but you give it more so that you
Oh, like an offer, like a higher offer?
yeah, I had to make a higher offer because the market was so hot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and by the way, this is some cultural kind of a change because it's way different in Brazil. In Brazil, you ask for like a discount, not making offers. So
Well,
that's a funny thing.
it depends on when and where you're buying. Look, we have that here too. It's always a negotiation, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I get it.
yeah. Yeah, so th those were the biggest milestones. Oh, and of course, I got my two kids here as well, so that was amazing.
All these two Canadian kids.
Two Canadian kids. There is the I keep saying like the first one is the COVID guy
Mm,
because he was born in the middle of like the big chaos in
right.
May. So yeah, definitely
Wow.
was good. It was great, but it was crazy.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, do you have any tips for other Van hackers, who are looking to get hired abroad as well?
of course, yes. So one thing that's important to keep in mind is to be in peace that, like, first of all, migrating or moving abroad is not for everyone. There are
Hmm.
some people that so dreaming of it, but they don't focus on like if that's for them. Because I have friends that came through the same process and they said, no, it's enough. I really want to go back, right?
Mm,
Feel in peace if you need to do that because it's definitely a very cultural shift. It's a very like it's a big shift in your life. So don't feel bad about like maybe having to push back on that dream, but also feel like it's a great experience. I can say like it's being a great experience that I dreamed with that. I
mm,
have kind of made it and I don't regret of it, right? The challenges are making me even like a stronger in terms of even personally, not only professionally, but personally. Because here there's no family, right?
hmm.
And like most people just come like with their like kids and wife, but you won't have like the rest of your family. And this is some, especially for Brazilians, this is something like important, right? For some
Yeah.
this is a big value. So wait that before you take a decision. But if that's something you want, just do it and don't feel bad about having to go back at some point, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks, Guilherme. This was really fun to have this interview and hear your story. I love, the post relocation, see the success, two kids, house, new life, new job. Super cool. So congratulations. And yeah,
Thank you.
if you're a Van Hacker watching this, good luck at the Sao Paulo event, or just go to vanhack.com and find a great job for you, and you'll be on the next success case video as well. Great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Talk soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.